The Namibian is going live from Taloloka in Walvis Bay, where half of the Taloloka settlement has burned down. It is but yet to be confirmed that one child could have burned down in the fire. And there's a gas bottle. Yes, there's a gas bottle here. There is a gas bottle here somewhere. There's a what? A gas bottle just behind there. Oh, yes. You must move back. This is Taloloka. It has gone down. Taloloka is one of the settlements in Walvis Bay that was earmarked for decongestion in a few weeks' time, where people were going to be moved out because of the spread of coronavirus. Unfortunately, this has come too early, and hopefully they will be relocated. But even if they be, still take some time because their houses are built with cupboards. There's the fire brigade coming through. Scores of onlookers. And this here is belongings from those that could salvage whatever they could to get out of their homes. Families are still looking for each other because there's thousands of onlookers here and not everybody is able to see who is where. Councillor of Walvis Bay constituency just arrived on the scene. He's also trying to understand what is happening. Councillor, this is not your constituency, but you are always on standby.
This has nothing to do with constituency, just to do with the residents of Walvis Bay. And I think as much as it's outside my jurisdiction, I'm here to provide moral support and try to see what is the immediate solution we can get. This is time to be together in solidarity and try to get immediate solutions for our community members. And I think that is where the communication with local authorities, as well as also with the rural constituency councillor come in hand. But then I've been in contact also with the chairperson of the Erongo Regional Council, of which we are trying to see how we can then help from also the Regional Disaster Risk Management Committee side.
But have you discussed anything with regard to the families? Because I understand there are family members that are still looking for each other throughout this disaster because there's too many onlookers and some cannot find their children.
Yeah, at this stage it is difficult to actually locate and assess and say what is really going on. We know there are some people who were rushed also to the hospital, so they might be amongst those ones. So at this stage it's still premature to say what is the real effects of the fire. So up until such time a report is stable, then only we'll know really the real effects. Okay. But for now we need to combat and ensure that more shacks are not affected by this fire. So as you can see, the fire brigade is there on that side now trying to stop so it doesn't go through to the other side.
That was the councillor for Walvis Bay Urban Constituency, Knowledge Ipinga, who just walked into the shot, and we were lucky to have a word with him. And the community is still reeling from the shock. You can see from their faces, everybody is reeling from the shock, trying to find out what is happening, who is where.
Tell our government they must stop joking.
Are you willing to speak on camera?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. A resident from close by, he is willing to speak.
We are angry.
Yes.
We are angry because our brothers and sisters, they will sleep well today. The government must make a plan. They must maybe build houses or they must make a big plan. When they don't make a plan, we take all of the people who just stay in the town on the road. We are sick and tired of this nonsense.
So what do you think happened here today?
All of the stuff they have done.
But what caused the fire?
Well, we don't know.
Have you heard of any casualty, fatalities?
I heard one kid is passed away here. It's burning the house.
We are live from Taloloka settlement in Walvis Bay. My name is Esther Mbathera, and in front of us is the fire brigade unit from the Walvis Bay municipality trying to kill the fire. But half of Taloloka, and we're looking at a population of probably about 2,000 to 3,000 people that will have no homes or no roofs over their heads tonight. And there is, but yet to be confirmed, is one fatality of what they believe is a child. And on top of it, a lot of family members, they cannot find each other in this disaster. Walvis Bay is still reeling from COVID-19 cases that are increasing, and the community is trying all its best at the moment to assist those that have been affected by this fire in Taloloka tonight. This afternoon, the community of Walvis Bay, Swakopmund, and the whole of the Rongo region included, there was a request for a prayer session between 3 and 4 o'clock, which happened, and the church bells went off as a reminder to everybody of what is happening in Walvis Bay. The community has been asking for opening of the borders. However, that is impossible because at the moment, to contain the virus, everybody has to remain within the region. It's Fire Chief Mr. Basson from the Walvis Bay Municipality's Fire Brigade Department. That is what is left of Taloloka and more. The fire brigade guys are still trying to fight the fire.
For 6 years, was magnet cancel for and a president can stand it.
Hingira masherero didi.
Inko sherero. Twakaro dompura hampo mwe ponamba. Ma tutorora. Mautoro kansela. Mautoro presidenta. Mara okuda kuntuna nitareni ngambia kaonja pop. Obi kwa mp.
Etro kamari kapita.
Obi kwa ye.
And she's explaining what exactly is happening here. She says for 6 years they have been voting. They have been voting for councillors and for politicians to get into office. And she's asking what happened, what is going on here. For 6 years, this has been their home. Just you see?
Onjo matutoro kansela matutoro presidenta maro presidenta amatwa kushipindisha yo atutoro kansela atutaposhipindisha yo atutaongabane atutaposhipindisha yo okolerwa yo mara kaeno rubele okutupa ogenda unalo ondo corona okafika wandu ukatoka wandu kokomento odo erfande deripo ondo komeo kukata kwa andu komento po erfka veno erfando kutwa komento kaeno erfade tu ete tu koneka kutwa poruvele Tara, omuni taro muni, taro muni, siapa kani suka, orang jual ngapi ndapimba, oh ndapi ponam, oh ina vandu bianyo no kavingapi.
Iprano muka nungu no na shiveta no ngure kaera ndisa ponamba. Wana shempo maka hopita.
Oh vandu vengapi, kai no batire munde katwebe du.
Matu yo keno ngumo kana shuka tire monjo monam.
Yeah. Auntie is basically asking that what is going to happen. They have been voting people into positions, but the land has not been delivered. She says that the errands that have been delivered are those for the dead people. in reference to the cemetery where people who have died of coronavirus were buried. She's asking when is the airbands for the living being delivered.
Gawetupo washiri wetu. Gawetupo washiri wetu kushavi vyango shikwa ya kwete. Ete tukuna mushavi tuwime hile teto folena poka eto folena. Ete shwa twakatwa mona mimbi matwe kuri ofolena. Ete gato folena na mimbi gato folena na mimbi akaya omuntu akatile hindire tuntu. Mara hindiri pona bano rekurira bikuraire na rekuriye hido mundu nguma enene kosimariba amingumbe haungura oinaje shanyono kane meshitif wanasi wange nambane mera rapi
epeshiwa viungura twapanjari zero corona
ya
yapanjarire tukaturandisa mostora mwanamwi au kastora kapshikanda maduka kwapi vandu ngunda akuluma kohoromende kaito onjile maituliro vandu corona maduka kwapi.
Yeah, open the places.
Just
open so that you can go.
There's somebody, a hooligan, who is throwing stones at the office, at the cracks of the fire brigade. I have to also avoid running. Gunshots. Was gunshots from the special field forces that just arrived on the scene, because there were some hooligans throwing stones at the trucks, the fire trucks. To disperse the people. We are live from Taloloka. The police managed to disperse the crowd because people were really gathering out here in numbers, thousands of people, and the police managed to disperse them. Okay, the fire truck was damaged, but luckily nothing.
Luckily not on the windscreen.
Luckily not on the windscreen.
On the beam.
The fire brigade is telling us this is all that they could do, and they are now living on site, so we all have to disperse. And the security cluster has also been on site. They are on site trying to disperse the people. It's quite difficult now to speak to Master Basson from the Walvis Bay Fire Brigade because he's on this phone trying to see what to do next. For my own safety as well, it is good that we are reporting from the front line, but this has to be done in a safe manner. Most of the people have left, and I assume that they are angry with the police at the moment, but the police had to disperse the community. Those are gunshots going off, or rubber bullets. Some members of the special tasks team trying to shoot, but I am going to disperse. I am going to leave the site. Unfortunately, they probably have to use force because the community is adamant to leave. I'm going to try and move in their direction just behind them for my own safety and be able to get out of here. These are all community members trying to save the little that is left of their items. I am leaving the site. These are soldiers in front of me. This is me trying to leave the site. The community is angry, telling them to leave. The community trying to tell them for the police to leave. The community is angry with the police for firing shots, but they were dispersing the community. They were. What just happened, sir? Obamba kushika patat.
Taya shan.
Taya shela nushike.
Anu kazuba no taya shela shike. Anu narwa. Goba kiko no manje bawo tabu ngweje mubana. Anu bani ngashi. Tela tenga ne ngolano. Anu balu manati na. Gawo mepe ukapeni mshilongo. Gawo mepe ukapeni. Ishika pani kisha tukapona ni taya shina shela. Ishina e pesa da si dano le tiene hasta no le show. Utata chaji. Ame kwa ile puwa penyangenga kwa nyaka tunandia na ba ame kwa dina dita we ba dina genga. Mala pesa tunataka dina kinya kwa channel. E pesa nganga ngo kwa hicho channel kwanga. E pesa ile dudu kwa tonjo. Yana. Mala pesa chimba ya bana taumbo ngobano. E pangelo la shikeri ninga. E pangelo lukanyamuku wano luko munishi. The
community is very angry at the police using force on them to disperse them. However, there's still quite a number of people standing around watching what's happening at Twaloloka. These are some of the community members that were preparing themselves just in case the fire breaks out even further. Most of them have broken down their shacks just to prepare in case the fire guts them. So however, tonight what's going to happen is that they are still waiting on the way forward, because the authorities are in discussions as to what is going to happen to these people. It is not a constituency issue, it is not a political issue, it is a community issue, an issue that affects the people of Twaloloka tonight. These are all their belongings. They are all trying to figure out what is next. You can see those that could salvage some of their belongings did so early, but most of them, they are trying to figure out what is going to happen tonight. There's talks that a child could have died in the fire, and family members are still trying to find each other in this fight. The Namibian. The Namibian. Aye. Yeah, this yeah. Meme is willing to speak. Yeah.
Never. Pai fase na batu ba holo ka tulinga nuno na tuna maluta mito malangengo ndani kwa sima sio po ndani kwa swanda ku ono we pangelo pai fo no tali fale stano no tali tavero ngebo to tali patele poba nali talende male halo ngebo di hena shilina wasike pangelo ni halalo mendo na atafiko kolo na dafsa mala tali ni halalo na tumami
na ditale kone masita tutabere kutokoni la tule minister ditale kutano tulinga ipika la fakwa ile tutumina minjili ongela ikento walande ne na sabata psanga ndota kanifanya nuwe na ditale kone ngas so taluluma takwe na taluluma tanya matata de manti ya kule baso mafela tata tadipi deka dimandirwe uye otata mekele pi malo mepo ya finda pi na so ikale na kukala tale mekele me kunya kabudilo mepo osima safinda pen mala mongro takutia pangelo la ya etile nye pangelo
na neni tuje
na ini tukati le pangelo litali tukafelo mo wanao oso se tulu mena onda iseka kusukucha pangelo tani ngashike mambayo basi atu monike kolona wase tunonjala wase hati batia kama umwetu kama umbo meme paifo hatu kama nuwa we pangelo peni na piege ngudu 2000 meno pa matu mono ko umweta duluku tunatela sema suwa pakatu na kucha hatu mono mali sike tutatemba dimbago mame ndamana
akone ndimo voya veshene no ulina bonena sasa pena va
ama ni mabashi ango ndinoka bashuke fika paka na kama ndina muno na ngebe libatana no sama
una na veshene sho ulina bonena okay
divana
sasa pepe
lulu makunko tuliona kana kaika kila mkakolo ngeno kwali na tu monena kwa ngeno shota chako ta ngini ilenge no paisi akola ina eko aba tulikonku nguloshe tuni parete benya bali paka tubele ke faili kakuna kucho tunako shikoko malo mahololongo kweya takuti indani kwa benya bele iliga marushike ngenge takukufa takuningwa shike ihati indeni kwa benya bele iliga otuleki iliga sasipe no mawana wavo bala ngengo pelo mawana watatale sala limenja totavo oshi kucho kwa mapeni
yeah. Meme just narrating her story as to what is hurting her most, explaining the issue that during election time it is easy to find the voters. They are not illegal during election time. And she's hurting also because a 1-year-old child. Meme has come to Walvis Bay a few years ago, and she says there was nothing good about being here, and tonight has just settled it all off for her. This is part of their belongings, those that were able to salvage some of their stuff.
Why? Onaini tunakuda nawa tunakulia nao wao shino manga sanuta deusi hatu kama nguluka mwanga na mimi ana suja kusekuja omba na suja kusei Afrika kama hatu nguluka bari sasa paifa ngatu lega miketanga otamanga bomba mshekuru kama
watangi meme that's the meme very upset as to what's happening. A lot of people still standing around, but most of this that you see here are people that are standing and keeping an eye on their belongings, because in the middle of everybody that is trying to save others, there are those that are capable of picking 1 or 2 items. The Namibian was reporting live from Taloloka settlement in Walvis Bay, where scourges of shacks have burned down this evening. That fire lasted about 2 hours, but it has now been managed by the Walvis Bay Fire Brigade. All that is left is the smoke. There is rumors, but still to be verified, to be confirmed, of a 1-year and 8-month-old baby that has died in the fire. The community is staying on awake. Taloloka community were expected to be relocated in due course as part of the Walvis Bay Municipality's decongestion program, to relocate the people or to decongest the community because they were quite close up into each other. So part of the program was to decongest them so that some people can be taken to new areas where they will be temporarily accommodated. Unfortunately, that didn't happen as planned, because it has to be speed up now, because all of these people It's quite a large area that has burned down, estimated close to 4 hectares of houses that were on a 4-hectare piece of land. Those have all gone down. Tomorrow we'll try and show you a picture of what Tuloloka looked like before the fire. And on that note, I am Esther Mbathera in Walvis Bay.